Alrighty, hey everyone. So back to this week of things. Monday, Bitcoin was up. Miners were up for the most part. Miners are front running Bitcoin a little bit here today. We'll talk about that. But the miners basically, most of them at least, gained back some of the losses that they had on Friday, which is nice to see. Bitcoin's up a little bit today. It's now down a little bit as well. We do have more and more people turning to possibly thinking that Bitcoin's going to go into an extended cycle, which is nice. We'll talk about that as well. What else do we have here? We got bunch of good news stories on Bitcoin as well, adoption and all that stuff. We have more reporting their July update as well, so we'll get into that, and then we'll get into Q&A, so let's get into it. All right, as always, not financial advice for entertainment only. Do your own research, full disclosure below that. Hit the like button, subscribe, helps me out tremendously. And let's take a look at what's going on here with Bitcoin right now. So Bitcoin was up, like we talked about yesterday, right? It was up nicely, 1.49%. Today was up just a little bit, 0.73%. And it almost gained back some of the losses we had on Friday, even on Saturday at that point, and we've come back up here, which is nice. We're kind of giving up some of those gains that we had today right now in the after hours of the new day. We'll see where we end up at, but might be just a little correction there. We had 2 nice days of going green. Little pullback, not a big thing. We'll see where we end up at. I'm not too worried about it, at least right now. As far as markets were up today also, so what happened, right? Last Friday we talked about this. We had the tariff fears come into play again. Trump released a bunch of tariffs on countries there. We also had the jobs report being revised downward tremendously. I think that spooked the market. But then the market kind of thought it over the weekend. And maybe that's not a bad thing because, well, that's probably going to lead to the Fed lowering interest rates here in September. We have a story on that as well. Really quick, we'll get into that here shortly. So that might be good. And some are saying that we might have like 3 rate cuts later on this year. So a quarter basis points each, which would be great. That's going to be, full-on assets like Bitcoin and everything else are going to be pumping at that point, but we'll see. Right now, miners, like I said, did pretty good here. Ethereum was also up to date quite nicely, a little bit better than Bitcoin did. Ethereum was up 6.39%, so that one definitely gained back the loss that it had on Friday there, right? It's above that. It's down a little bit right now as it is. But the miners here had a pretty good day here. So Bitcoin was up just a little bit, right? 0.7% or something like that. Miners did far better than Bitcoin did. So Bitfarms was up 3.45%, almost taking back the loss that it got on Friday. BitDeer was up nicely, 7.18%. That one definitely, got back all the losses there. Kang was up 5.86%, also closed kind of where, regained all the losses as well. Cypher was up 5.27%, same thing for them. Cleanspark 1.72%, almost. I got to like 3/4 of the way there. CORZ was up 7.91%, definitely took back the gains there. Hive was up 1.97%. That one kind of finished out where it started out on Friday, so that was good. Hut 8 was up nicely, 7.13%, going back above where it started out on Friday even. IREN was up nicely as well, 7% there. Mara was up 3.48%, same thing. Taking back those losses. Riot was up 3.54%. That one has a ways to go. So Riot obviously released their quarterly results. Stock was down like, 17% or something like that on Friday. What was it? Yeah, 17.75% down on Friday. So it's going to have a little bit of a hill to climb before it bounces back there. Wolf was up 2.73%, also getting about 3/4 of the losses there on that one. MicroStrategy was up 6.17%. Same thing for that one, almost regained. Nicely bounced here on the SMA 100-day. Galaxy was down 5.65%. Coin was up just a little bit, 1.1%. What else do we have here? Metaplanet was actually down. That's a continuation of that one. Exodus was up 4.19. Semler was up 2.64. What else do we have here? Phoenix was down 3.85. GameStop was up 2.4. Small miners were up for the most part, except for DMG and Canon were both down. Miner ETFs were up nicely here. BitQ up almost 4%. BKCH up almost 5%. DAP almost 4.5%. And WGMI was up 6%. So a nice day in those guys. Some of the ETF miners, or not miners, ETF hodlers. BitDigital was up nicely, 14.71%. Not sure what's going on with that one. BitDigital says Eric how to serve as CFO of White Fiber. Okay, SEC filing. But that was from 6 days ago. So that probably didn't have an impact on it. I think maybe just with Ethereum going up, that one definitely benefited there. BTCS was up just a little bit here. BMNR was down 1.74. There was a story out today that they bought more Ethereum, I believe. They're the largest holder now, right now. Game was up 6.49% here. At SBET was up 11.67%. These guys still have a long ways to go to get back to their highs as it is right now. What else do we have here? Griffin was up today 15.24%. That one's merging with American BTC, right? I haven't seen anything on that one as far as the details on the merger there. We'll see when that does come out, though. All right, so like I said, it looks like the miners are front-running Bitcoin here a little bit. We saw this happen also in July, I believe it was. If we looked at, let's just look at maybe Cleanspark here in July. Beginning of July here, where we're on the daily. Where are we at? June, towards right here, right there. Towards the end of June, we saw them kind of running up, and Bitcoin was also running up at that point as well. So maybe this is the start of something beautiful, where the miners will actually start front-running Bitcoin here a little bit to the upside. We shall see. But based on the price performance that I saw today, it was definitely a little bit telling. But we'll see. We'll see if that plays out that way. As far as the miners here in the after hours or pre-hours, BitDeer is down a little bit, 0.23%. Bitfarms is actually up 5% here, pre-hours. That one's continuing a nice little run there. Kango is flat. Cypher is up just a little bit, 0.77%. Cleanspark, yeah, got it, is up a little bit, 0.28%. CORZ Scientific is actually down 2.71%. Hive is up just almost 1% there. And we got Hut 8 being down 0.57%. IREN being actually now up 1.21%. Mara, let's see where this one comes in at. This one's flat, looks like right now. Riot is up 0.7%, and TeraWolf is up 0.82%. So miners are still going in the green, even with Bitcoin coming down here a little bit. So again, that might be a little tell. As far as Bitcoin here for the month of August, we're still down about 0.81% right now on it. Not a bad start. We'll see if we can get the green. Remember, in July, we did the same thing. We were in the red in the beginning, and then we finally turned green a couple days into it, to a week. So we'll keep an eye on that. Bitcoin ETF inflows also were in the red today. We had 31 million in outflows right now. We'll see where IBIT comes in, if that one's positive or not, and that might actually turn it positive there at that point. But we shall see. All right, let's get into some of the good news stories that we have here on Bitcoin and everything else. So let's get into that. That's not what I wanted to do. This is what I wanted to do. There we go. Okay, so this is kind of interesting here. This is another one of those where we're seeing mentality change around Bitcoin cycles here. So Bitcoin volatility hits record lows as ETFs influence market conditions. And I've been saying that it's just a different cycle altogether because of the ETFs, all the adoption we're seeing from corporations, countries, states, all the stuff that's happening here. I think it's going to be a different cycle. And this kind of bodes with that thought process as well. So Bitcoin's trading patterns are shifting significantly as spot exchange traded funds reshape the landscape. Since their launch in January of 2024, Bitcoin's price volatility has declined to levels not seen before. And I don't really track the volatility there, but based on this is definitely interesting. And it could be another signal that we are heading into an extended cycle. On August 4th, Bloomberg ETF analyst Eric B., I can't pronounce his name, so I apologize. I'm just going to call him Mr. B., pointed out that Bitcoin's 90-day rolling volatility has now fallen below 40, its lowest point since the ETFs launched. At that time, the metric was above 60, right? So the volatility has been going down. And the analysts compared this drop to gold's volatility, noting that Bitcoin's volatility is now less than double that of gold, compared to being more than 3 times higher in the past. So adoption is helping it become less volatile here. This newfound stability could signal a long-term evolution in Bitcoin's behavior. According to Mr. B, the era of extreme price swings marked by explosive bull runs followed by painful crashes, which we've witnessed many of those, may be giving way to a more moderate price movements. And that's kind of what we're seeing here, right? We're seeing these kind of drawdowns of 30% in Bitcoin over the last 2 years, but they were extended drawdowns, 4 or 5 months in time. Mr. B also pointed out that this stability has helped make Bitcoin more attractive to large-scale investors and has drastically improved its chance of being adopted as a medium of exchange, which I agree as well. So all good things here for Bitcoin there. A couple other good stories that we do have here really quick. If we look at this, just in Goldman Sachs, we expect the FOMC to deliver 3 consecutive 25 basis point cuts starting in September. Bullish for Bitcoin, bullish for assets that are, what's the term there? There's a term for it. Risk on assets. So this is going to be good for us if we get 3 cuts that would be what, 75 basis points by the end of the year here. That'd be great. I would love to see it and be just another, like adding fuel to the fire here for Bitcoin going forward. So we could really see a nice rally happening here towards the end part of the year, basically, right? September, October, November, and into December as well. So that's great news there. This is also more on adoption here. So just in, ALCBP announces a 11.5 million capital raise and convertible bond issuance with TOBAM to fund the purchase of 160 additional BTC, right? Another company that's just stacking sats there. We got MetaPlanet has also acquired 463 Bitcoin for 53.7 million at an average price of 115,895 per Bitcoin and has achieved a Bitcoin yield of 459.2% year to date of 2025. Wow, that is astonishing. As of 8/4/2025, we hold 17,595 Bitcoin acquired for 1.78 billion at an average price of 101,422 per Bitcoin. So how are they getting 459% year to date? That seems kind of high, but it could be, maybe my math is wrong in my head. Nonetheless, they're continuing to stack here, which is really good. And finally here, we got this one here. Unitronics Corp launched their Bitcoin treasury with 5.5 BTC. Definitely on a smaller side here, but nonetheless, more companies are just, stacking sats. They're buying up Bitcoin for the treasuries, and that means two things. One, it gets Bitcoin off the exchanges, and it also gets Bitcoin off the OTC desk. We are seeing slowly a supply crunch there happening as it is. Bitcoin price hasn't been corresponding with it, but I think it will in time because as more want to buy it, and the price is going to have to go up. Simple supply and demand economics there, unless they're doing paper trading on it, which I don't think they are. All right, and let's see, we got one more here. This is CFTC starts new sprint initiative to advance Trump's crypto regulatory roadmap. That's going to be good there. We need clarity, and the clarity is going to bring on more adoption as well. So that's another good news point here happening. And yeah, we need to move a little bit faster and all government aspects, I think. Trying to get permits or anything like that is like watching a snail run. So we need speed. We need to be moving faster than what we are. So that's great news there. And then finally, let's get into, we're going to get into the miners here really quick. The only one that we do have here is on Mara right now. Right, so Mara announces Bitcoin production and mining operation update for July 2025. And here's what we got here. So this is management commentary. In July, our production saw a 2% month-over-month decrease in blocks 1 as global hash rate rebounded following seasonal curtailment and mining difficulty was 9% higher than the end of June. They actually ended up doing much better than I thought they were going to do when we were looking at it towards the middle of the month. It looked like they're going to be down a bit more, but they actually got their act together a little bit here. So this is from their CEO, Fred Thiel. Our Bitcoin holdings surpassed 50,000 BTC in July, a milestone that solidifies Mara as the second largest publicly traded holder of Bitcoin globally. More importantly, this is a treasury we built through disciplined infrastructure development, scaled operations, and focused execution, and buying Bitcoin too. They bought a lot here last year. Okay. See, we increased our energized hash rate by 3% over the previous month, and we are preparing to begin energizing the data center at our Texas wind farm in the second half of the year. Although we encountered higher than expected curtailment at our Ohio sites, our teams improved operational efficiency at Wolf Hollow and Kearney by boosting productivity and streamlining the supply chain. So that's good there. They talk about here looking forward, right, what sets them apart through leadership, stuff, or so on. Here are the metrics that we do have here for them. BTC produced was 703, down from 713 that they had in June. Share of available miner rewards, 4.9%, down from the 5.4, so half a percentage point down. Transaction fees also came down here to 1.1 from 1.4%, and energized hash rate actually increased to 58.9 from 57.4. So they continue to increase their operations, which is nice to see, and they need to do that if they're going to be getting to 75 exahash by the end of the year. All right, and they also have here right now a total of 50,639 BTC. Right, this includes Bitcoin that is loaned, actively managed, or pledged as collateral. Also, that's in there. So let's get to the numbers that I do have here for them. For Mara, I updated their numbers here. Based on the current numbers that we do have here for them, their market cap is about 5.9 billion. The stock price as of today was $16.04, right? 370 million shares out there. Their performance over the last 1 week, 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks has not been great. You can see that's all in the red here. Current hash rate 58.9, future hash rate 75 exahash, so they still have about 16 exahash left to install. more or less, given that we have roughly, what do we got? August, September, October, November, December. We have 5 months. They basically need to install about 5 months, about 3 exahash a month, basically is what they need to be installing here if they want to reach 75 exahash by the end of the year. Okay, Bitcoin HODL is 50,639. That's valued at 5.839 billion. That is 98% of their market cap. So either they're not being valued on their HODL position or getting a very, very low valuation on it, and they're being valued on their operations, or it's the opposite, and they're just being valued on their HODL position and not their operations, right? Which way do we look at it? Depends on how you look at it, I guess, on that one. And each share has about $15.76 of HODL and the share price there as it is. All right, BTC self-mined. I'm taking out the joint ventures part out of it. So that was about 10 points, something BTC, I believe. Somewhere around there, 10.5 BTC for the joint ventures. They got them down to 692 here. That is a little bit of decrease from what we saw, about a 1.5 decrease from last month. On that one, the revenue was at almost 80 million here. For them, 79.88 million. Down, obviously, the May was their best month, 96 million. They had great production there, great numbers there as well. So they're still down on their production as it is from where they really should be. Bitcoin HODL continues to increase, right? 50,639. Hash rate difference continues to increase as well. They were up about 600 petahash from what I counted here. And maybe I had a mistake here in June. Maybe not. But it's still up 601. I think they installed a little bit more than that. BTC sold. I showed that they sold maybe like 4 Bitcoin, but that's maybe a rounding error between what they reported at the end of June and what they reported here. That's the only thing I can think of. I doubt that they sold anything though. And then BTC per exahash efficiency is 11.76 for them. Bitcoin sold value, I'm guessing again, nothing much sold there. Going down here to institutions and analyst ratings here, we do have some changes in this. We now have, I probably should zoom this in for you guys as well. You guys can probably see this a little bit better. There we go. We have 563 institutions, so 5 decreased there, but the number of shares actually increased to 223 million. But the percentage went down to 61%. So I think that was based on the dilution that we saw there, the number of shares being out there. And we have some changes also in the buy rating side of things from analysts. We still have the 4 strong buy ratings, and we now have 4 strong buy ratings, 3 buy ratings instead of the 2. We now have 7 hold ratings, 0 underperform, 0 sell. Price targets actually went up for them. So the high is now $39, an increase of 6 from last month. Average went up to 23.63, and the low went up to $16. So that's actually pretty good there. On that one, going down here, as far as what was operating, I added some more machines to their list here as well for the month of July here. Got them to the 79 or 58.9 exahash here, and it looks like they were operating at about 23 days out of the month on average, based on what they have installed. So a lot of curtailing happening, and also they probably still have some issues with one of their sites that had the weather damage from back in June, was it? I think it was from June. So that's still having an impact on them. It's unfortunate because back in May, we can see that they were operating at much higher operational uptime, almost 31 days in May. So almost 100% uptime there as it was. And then we saw a decrease in June. We saw the same thing here in July as well on that. Okay, so based on those numbers, if we look at their numbers here, take their revenues for July, multiply it times 12 months. I'm somewhere between $19.41 and $29.11. They're at $16. Yeah, they're undervalued, in my opinion, as it is right now. I mean, that's easy to tell because you can see that their BTC value is pretty much their market cap right now as it is. So yeah, they're undervalued. If you include their Bitcoin production, include their also sites that they own, infrastructure, all that stuff, that should have a value to it as well. That should be added on top of it. Yes, they do have debt, right? We know about that. If we look at the debt down below here, we can see assets, liabilities. We look at their current liabilities, total current liabilities. They got about $3 billion in total liabilities, right? Current liabilities is about 441 million, but total is 2.9. That's mostly from the convertible notes, which is 2.2 billion there. So even if you take that out, what are their assets at? Their assets are, let's see really quick. Cash, I want to see property and equipment. I mean, that's 1.6 billion. So you should at least add that. Digital assets, obviously, as well. On top of it, yeah, they should be valued at least one, at the bare minimum, at least 1 to 2 billion more from where they are, even including their convertible notes that's going to be due on there. So I think they're undervalued. They should be higher valued as is. The one thing that I definitely would like to see, though, from them is like from some of the other miners as well, is lower their SG&A costs, lower their stock-based compensation costs, improve their operational uptime as well. But that's basically it in a nutshell on them. Let me know what you guys think. All right, that's kind of where I see them right now as it is. All right, let's get into Q&A. That's all I got for you guys. So spreadsheet's going to be available to Patreon members as always. Link for that is down in the description if you want to join and help support what I do here with all the data, pulling it in for you guys in a nice, easy, and consumable spreadsheet. You also get access to our private Discord server, which is fantastic there. A lot of great conversations happening there. So greatly appreciate you guys over there and along with the YouTube viewers as well. So let's get into Q&A here, see what you guys have to say. We'll call it a day. Where's my Q&A? There it is. All right. Getting things loaded up. There we go. Always, if you could preface the questions with a question mark or Q, I would appreciate it. I'm going to scroll my way up and work my way down as always. Let's see. What do we got here? I'm trying to find some questions here. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to find some questions. You guys have a lot of comments. Chris saying no extended cycle. Well, you're still believing that. Okay. I mean, you might be right. I could be wrong on that. So we'll find out in the next, I think, 6 to 9 months. We'll find that out, whether it's going to be an extended cycle or not. Let's see. Okay. See, all right, Mr. X got a question here. What is going on with Cleanspark? At one time, it was the biggest gainer of the miners. Yeah, that was back in 2024, early, right? In maybe even late 2023, from what I recall. But yeah, it had run up ahead of all the miners. And then we had probably some, I don't know if it was bad moves. I think it was just some bad PR from them. Right, we had the CEO and the other gentleman there sell a portion of their shares right when Bitcoin when the stock topped. And that was around $23, $24. Yes, those were pre-dated sales that were pre-arranged, right? They had it basically, if the stock gets to like $24, $23, they would sell at that point. So that was okay, but then they also came out with an ATM at that point as well. And that was also right before a holiday Friday, I think it was. And then a lot of people also bashed them for getting the plane, right? So there was just like those three things that happened all in a row, more or less, that kind of took the stock down after that. But this past year, we haven't had any dilution. The company's doing very, very well. It's at 50 exahash, growing to 60 exahash plus. And I think we just need a little bit more time. Right now, we've also seen the HPC AI companies get a little bit more attention, more love there, even though they haven't gotten any deals. But there's always that hope that something will transpire there. So I'm still patient with it. I don't know what your average price is on it, but I'm still up nicely on it, over 100%. So I'm just going to hold on. We'll see where we go by the end of the year. All right. Let's see, Meta says, Cleanspark is where your money goes to die. I would disagree, but depending when you got into it again. All right, Victor C's got a question. If the CPI data next week comes out higher will that cancel the expected rate cuts? How much higher though, right? The Fed has a dual mandate there. One is unemployment and the other one is basically inflation. So they got to balance it. And if we have continuation of poor job figures, that's going to weigh on them to the point where, they should probably lower rates. We've also had 2 of the Fed governors there dissent, right, which has never happened before. And I think 2 of them also kind of resigned, which has never happened before as well. So there's some dissent happening within the ranks there. So we shall see. All right. All right. Mark says miners are not front running. Miners got crashed to the floor, not doing a bit of recovery. It could be a good recovery, but it could also be a little front running. We'll see. Time will tell on that, but I definitely like the action of what I saw today in the miners at least. All right. Sadie, let's see. Thank you so much, sliding late with the likes reminder. Thank you, appreciate it. Okay, Ratchet, what's actually wrong with the price of action on Cleanspark? Again, I think it's just because they're a pure play Bitcoin miner. They don't have anything other than that to go by. And a lot of these other companies, IREN, Hut 8, Riot, Bitfarms, you know, they're all trying to get an HPCI deal, and that's kind of where the trend is right now. Let's see. Okay, Chris is saying, let's see here. Just wait till Thursday ER dump. You're thinking Cleanspark's going to dump on Thursday. Chris is saying coin is down. Coin 17 red after ER dump. Riot down 18%. MSTR was down 9%. Cleanspark, we'll see what that is. We'll see, right? I'm really interested in Cleanspark to see if they actually had a positive EPS without the impact of the FSB rules there. Let's see. All right. Lucian's got a question. Is Mara curtailing power to sell their power to the grid? That's partially it, but they don't get any power credits from it, right? Otherwise, those would be reported. Riot actually has a contract in place where they can sell it and actually get money for it at that point. So I don't think that's the reason why. I think there's some issues at one of their sites from the weather. It's weather related from a storm or something like that. That maybe that hasn't been resolved yet. All right, what's your estimate for Cleanspark EPS for Cleanspark? Let me see if I can pull this up really quick. EPS, where's my EPS numbers? And that is based on roughly what we could see from them. Let me see, where's it at? I want to go here. Okay, so this is based on the Q1 results, trying to extrapolate the data into this current quarter, right? We know things are going to change for stock-based compensation and depreciation. Those are going to go up probably, I'm guessing, since they got to 50 exahash. So there's a little bit of leeway there. Let's see here. EPS estimates with depreciation. This does not include stock-based compensation because I have no idea what that's going to come in at. But we're looking at about $1.13. That's with the FSB impact on there as well. Per share. And we know that they're not diluting shares, so that should be close. We'll see. But also, the interesting part on it is on the FSB, the $200 million that they have with Coinbase, which is BTC backed. How does that get re-rated, or does that not get re-rated? Right. So it could be off by a little bit there on the valuation on it as well. So I would say somewhere between 90 cents to like $1.10 is where I would kind of think. Somewhere in between there is what I'm thinking. Maybe better. We'll see. All right, let's go back here. Okay, what's the MNF for Bitmine? Thanks, the latest one. Let me see if we can pull that up as well. Let me see. Open recent Ethereum treasury companies. Let me see if I got that one in here. I think I do. Bitmine, I do have it. Let's see if we get the latest price on these guys updated really quick as well. Let me see that. Market cap, that should have updated here. So, okay, here we go. So here it is, Bitmine, BMNR, and this is not with the latest number of Ethereum holdings. What's their latest number? It's like, let me see here really quick. I saw a tweet from them. I marked it. Let me see. Bear with me while I go look through my stack of things here really quick. See, nope, don't want that one. Where the heck is it at? Bookmarks, there we go. All bookmarks. Goldman Sachs, Metaplanet, just Breaking, SharpLink, Game Square, Metaplanet. Canon, I don't have it. I thought I did. I thought I marked it down, but I thought I saw it in there where they added. Well, let's try this. Let's try searching for it really quick. And we'll get this updated for you guys as well. I don't want to search communities. I want to go here. And I want to search for Bitmine. Bitmine. Let's see. Let's see. Chairman says the company now holds 833,000 Ethereum. Okay, so 833,000. That's where we're at. 833,000. Doesn't say exactly how much, but 833,000. Okay. So that's valued about 3 billion. All right, that sounds right. All right, so now it makes the MNAV there about 1.17 based on this. So that looks a lot better than the 1.7 that we had here just a week ago. So I think right now might not be a bad time to start maybe accumulating a little bit. If they're going to be that aggressive in getting Ethereum, definitely want to watch there, right? So that's kind of where it's at. Interesting. Nice to see that that has come down. Because like I've said before, I think the MNAV shouldn't be like 2 unless you really think that Ethereum's going to be going up like 2x within the next 3 months or so. At that point, you can kind of front run it if you believe that's going to be the case. But other than that, I think somewhere between 1.1 to 1.25 at MNAV is pretty healthy at that point. You know, they can get a little bit of a premium if you believe Ethereum's going to go up, but sometimes they do outrun the price of Ethereum or Bitcoin if it's a Bitcoin treasury company as well. But eventually they do come back to reality though. All right. Okay. What do you think of Hut 8's earnings? Oh gosh, I have no idea. They don't report their monthly production updates anymore, so I really don't know what they're doing there. We know that they're up. Their revenues were coming down the last couple of quarters, and we haven't heard anything as far as any deals or contracts with some new customers there. So I don't know. I really do not know. All right. Lucian, did you see Cleanspark is selling BTC and buying options instead? I know that they have a trading desk there, right? What they're doing in the trading desk, we'll have to wait and see what they report on the quarterly results. But yes, they are selling Bitcoin, and that is to fund operations, right? So they've, held it pretty well as far as telling everybody that they're not diluting their shares. And that's the reason why they're selling is to fund operations and fund the growth here going forward as well. So we'll see. All right. Let's see. Gary Pallett's got a question here. Do you agree Mara is the Benjamin Button of miners with stock price down from $83 to $16 from last cycle and having first mover advantage among U.S. miners leaving last cycle? I mean, that might be the case. Last cycle, the reason it ran up so high was because the reporting on them getting to 21 exahash within a year, right? When they reported it, that was right up that hype in 2021 as well. That kind of helped them out tremendously. And since then, they've made some mistakes. And yeah, they're not being valued right now as it is properly. All right, Mr. X, can the U.S. economy go into a recession if our U.S. president continues to deny it? Well, hopefully the numbers there are accurate, right? If the numbers are accurate and we're seeing that, we're seeing number of jobs being created going down, we're seeing also maybe stagflation or something like that, or who knows, maybe we'll go into a recession. But that's why we need to probably lower interest rates in order to spur the economy up a little bit because of that. Let's see. Ed asks, did you watch Riot's poker player on McNally Money? If you didn't, you saved yourself 40 minutes of BS. I watched part of it. I was curious to see what he had to say there. He had a explanation for the stock-based compensation. I get that explanation, but I'm still not liking the amount. They need to do better. Anybody, did you see the news that White Fiber is IPO this week? I did not. Let me see if that, see if we can find it on Bitmain or BitDigital site here really quick. Miners, small miners, BitDigital. Let's see. Latest one that I have is from July 18th, at least on their site here. You can see it here. So I don't have the latest one. Might be on the SEC website. Let's take a look at their sec.gov. Let's go to BTBT. 8K current departure of directors of certain officers. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen anything. But that's going to be interesting. I'd like to see more details on it. All right, let's go back here to questions, see if we got anything else. All right, let's see. Michael's got a question here. Sebastian, do you like any of those companies you look at and just got here? You talk about the Ethereum treasury companies? I mean, the one that I think that has a big chance, obviously, BMNR. I think that one because it has Tom Lee in it, and along with Kathy Woods has gotten into it, and somebody else has gotten into it as well. I think it's got the name recognition and the talent there to possibly push it up higher here. We'll see. But that's definitely one of the ones that I would like. Kedema says, if you search White Fiber IPO on Google, it shows it. Okay. Let's see. Renaissance Capital as well. All right, let me see if we can find it. White Fiber IPO. see, multiple oversubscribed, investing. Let me see, white fiber. Let's see if it pops up in here. All right, we got some info on NASDAQ here, it looks like, at least. Let me see, browser. Company overview, exchange, share price $15 to $17, status filed, shares offered, what are they offering there? 7.8 million shares, looks like. Offer amount, 152 million, shares over allotted, 1.1 million. Company address, White Fiber, Sam Tabar, CEO. Total offering expense, 3 million. Shares outstanding, 34 million. Okay, lockup period is 180 days, so that's fine, right? They can't sell the stock for 180 days, basically 6 months. Typical stuff, but when's it going public, though? Does it say it? I don't see a date on here. Let's see, let's go back here really quick. This is from 2 days ago. Let's see. Decoding White Fiber's IPO, BitDigital AI infrastructure arm steps into spotlight. What do we got as far as the details? Look at White Fiber. Price and well, we talked about that already. 7.8 million shares, 30-day option to purchase an additional 1 point. Okay, that's, yeah. All right, well, it'll be interesting when it does go public here. And then the interesting part is how many shares will the current owners of BitDigital get? They'll own about 80% of the issued and outstanding ordinary shares. Let's see, Digital, our parent, will own 80%. Yep. What about shareholders, though? Does it say anything about shareholders? Let's see. Shareholders. It's important to know White Fiber is not a spin-off. There will be no share distribution to BitDigital shareholders. Instead, this is a carve-out IPO where BitDigital is selling 20% stake of its AI HPC business to public while retaining 80% ownership and voting control post-offering. Well, okay, so, all right, so BitDigital shareholders, you're not getting any part of it, looks like. And, well, that's unfortunate. All right, let's go back here. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Sorry, looks like my questions here popped up a little bit. Okay, talked about that one. Gary's got a question here. Why do you feel Ethereum is doing so poorly this cycle? Still way down from last cycle highs, while Bitcoin has doubled last cycle highs. I think one is Bitcoin got the ETFs earlier on. It has the name recognition, it has the capital behind it as well, the adoption and everything else. If they both got the ETFs approved around the same time, maybe things would have changed a little bit differently. But I think Bitcoin was always going to be the winner, regardless of how they do. But yeah, this cycle has definitely underperformed. I think it's because it has also a competition from some Sol as well and others. So that could be it as well. All right. Let's see here. Seb, have you heard of BTCS stock? It's an eighth play with a 30% discount on NAV. BTCS, I think I have that one on my list as well. BTCS, I do. Here it is. BTCS Blockchain Technology Consensus Solutions. Yeah, it's 0.76, right? That one's definitely under from where it probably should be. But let's see, central to staking business operation value. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why. I would have to look more into it as far as what's going on under the hood there. Is there other underlying issues that are making it a discount right now? And also, how many do they have of Ethereum right now? So I do have it on there. Okay, talked about that one. Sorry, Melon Gaming's got a question. What miner will have the best Q2 in your opinion? The best Q2? Depending how you define it, right? If it's based on EPS without HODL having impact on it, then I think it's going to be probably IREN. Second to that would probably be Cleanspark, I would think. Roger's got a question. With Ethereum being so popular now, it looks like pure Bitcoin miners will struggle once again. I don't think that's going to be the case. I could be wrong on it, but I don't think that's going to be the case. Star says, Riot and Mara are not investable companies anymore. They got to fix their stuff. I agree with you. DGHI says, only 2 miners growing, only 2. You only get BTC due to them mostly. Well, I mean, there's Mara's growing. Well, yeah, it's really Mara and Cleanspark that are growing now. Well, Riot too. Riot's getting to 45 exahash from the 35 that they are right now. So they're going to be growing as well. Who else is going to be growing? Hive is growing. So there's a couple miners that are still growing. Mr. X, do you know if the ratio of call options versus put options is increasing, leading to Cleanspark earnings this Thursday? I do not, because I do not play the options part of it, so I do not know that. All right, Bang Bang says loaded up on some Cypher $7 strike calls for January 2026. Nice. Let's see. Turd says miners are not profitable like they used to be. It's all about treasuries now. Get with the times. Miners are trash. Excuse me, that might be the case, but I mean, we're seeing some of these Ethereum treasury companies getting pumped up tremendously and then coming back down, getting rug pulled on some of the investors as well. And MicroStrategy hasn't been doing that great either, at least this year. Let's see here. Bang Bang says 5x my position in the low 10s for Cleanspark. Thinking earnings pump, also okay with long-term hold. Clam should be sub 100,000 cost to mine. Really excited for this earnings from Cleanspark. Yeah, nice. Let's see. HPC AI is hype, not value. Well, no, I think there is. I think there's value in it, but it's going to be in a handful, maybe 2 handfuls of companies, maybe more than that, depending on. But the big players: Google, Meta. XAI, right, which is Grok, OpenAI as well. You got Perplexity there as well. Who else am I not thinking of? There's other ones in there as well that could possibly do very well. Amazon as well, Microsoft. But all of these companies are building out like crazy, but they're not sharing some of that build out with the miners, at least not right now. The only one that has been sharing has been CoreWeave. Right, they've shared their build out with Core Scientific, Applied Digital, and Galaxy Digital as well. And yeah, I just don't know. I think those companies, if they can get to super intelligence with their AI, it's game over at that point. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's game over, but man, the money that those companies would be raking in if they can develop new medicines, if they can develop new cures for things, if they can develop new molecules. Gosh, I mean, could be worth trillions of dollars at that point. So they're all trying to race for that right now as it is. And it'll be interesting to see who actually gets it. All right. Mark asks, what do you expect from Cleanspark earnings? I'll expect them to be EPS positive with the HODL that they have. I'm also optimistic that they might have a positive EPS without the HODL impact there as well. I'd love to see that. Love to see some more guidance as far as what's going on with the trading desk there. I'd love to see also what's going on with their growth, right? They're saying 60 exahash plus. I'd like to know a little bit more about the plus there. Where are they getting the sites in and things like that? Those types of things. Okay. Let's see. Ramani says Anthony Power came up with a video a few days ago. Cleanspark's all-in cost around 75,000. That seems about right based on Q1 results. I think. Well, their Q2, our Q1. All right. Let's see. Which is better, BMNR or SBET? Again, I don't know the complete details on the internals of each company, so it's hard for me to say. But based at Tom Lee's at BMNR, I would say possibly BMNR just based on that alone. Right now. Let's see. Sarah says, Seb, I'm glad you're not bought and sold like the boys over at McNally. Well, they also are pretty critical on some of these guys as well for the share-based compensation, all that stuff, right? Maybe they don't say it outright direct, but they say that there's been some talk, obviously, in the space about it. But they do hold them to some good questions there as well. So I love the guys there. And, good on them to be able to get some money out of it on that part. But, yeah, I'll leave it at that. Let's see. Turd says MicroStrategy is up 30% year to date. Cleanspark up 12% year to date. Yeah, but you can always pick and choose, right? Compared to some of the other miners are up 60, 80%. Some are over 100% as well on that one. Cleanspark has not gotten love this time around. Let's see. Bang Bang says, one thing people are forgetting is in 2021, a lot of these weren't profitable. yet they were only exposure to BTC for most brokerages. Now that we have the ETFs and other access, yeah, that's true. That is also the case at that point. In 2021, they were profitable. They're always profitable when you get into the bull runs, right? It's the bear markets that really hurt them, especially when those last like 2-3 years. All right. DGHI question, if only 2 miners growing, only 2 up, why wouldn't they own the new banking, BTC, big tech? I mean, you got more than 2 miners growing, really. But you got a company like Strategy, right? They could become a bank for BTC, basically. I mean, with the amount of BTC that they own right now, and the amount they're going to be buying here shortly as well. Bang Bang says, miners need to show profitability to get rewarded like IREN, etc. I agree. I do agree with you there as well. But that'll come as well as Bitcoin price goes up in value. Okay, Gary, do you feel increasing exahash is positive in your mining, if you're mining for a loss? No, it wouldn't be positive if you're mining for a loss. The supply shock by microstrat types is huge value growth. Okay. DGF says crash in housing late 2026, so next year. Okay, that'd be interesting. And let's see, we got a question from Mr. X coming in here as well. Okay, question. All right, why is Bitcoin transaction at all-time low now? I saw a video on it, but did not understand the language used that well. Bitcoin transactions at an all-time low. It could be also people are not trading it; they're hodling it more. That might be the case there. Everybody, well, I wouldn't say everybody. I think there's a large portion of people that think that Bitcoin's going to go up in value in the next 5 months, possibly. So I think they might be holding on to it. There might be. We're also seeing the volatility. We talked about the volatility on Bitcoin here has been decreasing, so there might be other avenues for more volatility, which traders like. That could be also a part of it. All right. DGF says 200,000 BTC is a shock supply hyperparabolic. Yeah. We need to get there. Hopefully we get there in the next 5 months or so. All right. Let's see if I'm missing anything else. I think that's it. Let me see. Gary says Cleanspark's all-in cost was 99 in Q1. They would have been profitable if 75,000. But I think he's saying 75,000 for Q2. I think that's what they're talking about. Our Q2, their Q3, right? As they grew their hash rate to 50 exahash, I think that helped out. I think. I could be wrong. All right. I think we're going to call it a day. Got one more question coming from Mr. X here as well. I'm in Bitcoin transaction fees at all-time low. Oh, same question. Okay. So Bitcoin transaction fees, yeah, that's just how much is being traded, right? If there's a lot of transactions that are being traded on Bitcoin, things happening back and forth, the fees increase, right? Because I heard an explanation on it once before. It's basically you have the packets, right? You have so many packets, and you want to put those packets in a bus to get basically to block size at that point. The more packets there are, the more people basically trying to get on a bus, the higher the fees are going to go. It's supply and demand in that regard as well. So that's kind of why. So if you don't have a lot of trading happening, a lot of transactions, fees are going to be lower. All right. Hopefully that explains it. All right, we'll call it a day. We're going on 15 minutes or so I think we're pretty good. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Bitcoin's down a little bit right now as it is, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. I don't know if anybody's reporting tomorrow there. We should get in a report from somebody that's reporting their July updates, but I'm wondering on the ER. I don't know if anybody's reporting ER tomorrow. I think the first one we have coming up here is, gosh, I'll have to look at it because right now I'm just drawing a brain fart. But yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow. We'll cover it for sure. And then, yeah, we'll talk about it as always. So I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you so much for coming in as always. Love you all, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then,